are you considering Dan Lok's high ticket closer program? Before you do anything, before you buy anything, make sure you watch this video. Rather than tell you it's a great program, I want you to take the time to listen to my story. Let's be real, Dan Lok's program is not for everyone, and maybe you'll just resonate with my story. My goal isn't to hard sell you or sell you on this program, but it's really to give you an idea of what the program looks like after you're done. And I want to take you step by step with me. So what does Dan Lok's high ticket program look like after you're done? So I know you're probably doing your research, and chances are if you've done high ticket closing, my face has probably popped up. I'm currently one of the #1 reviews on YouTube, and I just want to sit down and just talk to you today and just share every step of my journey. So I want to give you a clear picture of every step that I've taken along the way. Literally, this video is not really scripted out. I just have a few bullet points of what I really want to talk about today. I'm going to go into how I found my first influencer and first opportunities, how I made this course worth it for me, and how I actually paid off every single cent of the program, how I formed my team, how I got humiliated by my first influencer call. I want to let you guys know my first sale as well and how I exactly got it. And maybe you'll just resonate with a few things that I'm going to say. So guys, listen up, set some time away, and make sure that you're really paying attention, because this is actually a very serious decision. $2,500 is a lot of money for certain people. So I just want to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into if you decide to go down this route. My goal isn't to sell you on this program, but it's really to help you figure out whether this is for you or not. And if I do help you figure out whether it's for you, make sure to buy through my affiliate link. Use my affiliate link, and hell, maybe one day you can join my team. I'm not promising anything, but at least you have that opportunity, right? And I will do my best to help you every step of the way. So first of all, who am I? My name is Kevin Yee. Some of you guys might know me as Kevin Yee, the Farm D. I am part of Dan Lok's Inner Circle, High Ticket Millionaire program, and I've actually won an award through Dan Lok. So the thing was, I wasn't always a high ticket closer. I was actually a pharmacist. I've gone through school. I have my doctorate. So this is the beginning. You know how a lot of people say that something changes when you're about to turn 30. You suddenly don't want to go out anymore. You want to start a family. Your whole life changes upside down. And for me, right before I turned 30, I literally went through the biggest changes of my life, career-wise, family-wise, everything in my life. I never really felt confident to share this information until now, but I feel like it's time for you guys to know. So I remember in December 2017, I was working in the pharmacy, and it's around Christmas time. It's kind of stressful. Like everybody's rushing, getting their prescriptions and stuff like that. And I couldn't help but think about my family, my dad and whatnot, right? My dad was in the hospital since November, right? I don't know. It just really kind of sucked knowing that I couldn't really spend the time with my dad on any of the holidays back home. This was his first like medical sort of event, so it was a pretty big deal. I was actually in the middle of applying for like family leave to take care of my dad, and I remember I was telling my boss like, hey, I might need to actually go back home to take care of my dad. And then I remember like literally 2 days later, my boss gives me a call to come into office. And I was like, man, okay, what is it about? They wouldn't tell me, and I just had this really bad ominous feeling. It's like that feeling where you're about to go to a principal's office, but you don't know what you did wrong, and you're just anticipating all the like what they're gonna say to you. So I get called in, and turns out my employers find my YouTube videos. If you look at my older videos, I actually talk a lot about pharmacy. I started my YouTube channel just to help people and just to help students to really see if pharmacy was for them or not. But they were just really threatened about my social media presence, and they found some of my videos to be really controversial. In pharmacy, honestly, it's kind of taboo just to say that you're not happy with pharmacy or that you don't like pharmacy. I remember at one point they were like, Kevin, what happens if your videos go viral? They're like, they could find where you work and that would hurt all our jobs. They threw me on probation. They were going to look at my case, and I just remember coming out after feeling so shitty about myself. Like, here I was, like, I was so unsure about my career. There's a really good chance that I might lose my job over social media. Literally the next day, my mom and dad gave me a call. They told me to come back home. My dad wasn't doing too hot. He actually had to get a surgery. Turns out my dad was actually having heart failure. And like, being a pharmacist and all that, I should have seen the signs, right? He was having shortness of breath all the time. He was having fluid buildup. Man, my dad was just the type of person who who never really cared about his health until very, very, very last minute. So I literally throw all my work shit on the back burner. I'm just like, dude, I don't even want to focus on this. I can always find a new job. Let's go back home. I go see my dad at the hospital. Like, we're literally at Mass General Hospital, and I'm just talking to my dad. He was like, hey, what's going on, and how are you doing these days? And I just remember telling him, like, dad, I don't know. I just feel very lost, right? I don't know. I really think I'm going to lose my job over my social media. So in my opinion, I don't think I did anything wrong, and I feel horrible for it. And then I remember my dad saying one important thing, like, Kevin, no matter what happens, we'll figure it out. We're a family. And you got to realize that my relationship with my dad was not always that great. It was only like the last 6 months where I really put in effort, because I went to emotional intelligence seminar. That's for another video, but I really put in a lot of effort trying to, repair our really shitty relationship, because we used to fight. And knowing that my dad told that to me somehow made me feel like really good. It made me feel so much better knowing that I had people that supported me unconditionally, right? And so, like, we're all talking to my dad, and then it just gets quiet. We're waiting for him to go to surgery. And I remember him looking at all of us, smiling, and he was like, well, do you guys have any questions? I don't know. Something really just prompted me to ask this question. And I asked my dad, I was like, Dad, God forbid, like, let's say you don't make it out of surgery. What is one thing that you want your grandchildren to know? What's one piece of advice that you have for them? And then my dad just paused. He just thought. He was like, I don't know. That's a good question, Kevin. He thought a little longer. And then he was like, I've actually always wanted to be a millionaire, but sometimes life just doesn't go the way you want it to, but it's okay. I remember that answer, and it really spoke to me, because at that time I was like, life at this moment isn't going the way I want it to right now, but everything will be okay. And then I remember it's time for his surgery. Right before his surgery, I've never seen my dad so scared in his life. I just saw this face of fear. I'll never forget that face, man. And right before my dad left, I remember saying, like, hey, Dad, I'll see you on the other side. That was the last time I actually spoke to my dad. Dad goes through the surgery, and unfortunately, he never recovers. He starts having more complications. He starts going through organ failure. It's really tough to see someone that has been in your life for many, many years, like almost your entire life, and seeing them leave your life. I remember we had to make the really tough decision of, like, taking my dad off life support. I just remember that day so clearly. I remember my mom frantically turning on the light in my room. She didn't even say anything. I was like, what the hell is going on? I just turned off the light immediately, try and get some more sleep. Then my mom was like, Dad isn't doing well. We need to go to hospital right now. So literally, like, we rushed to the hospital. We have enough time to say a few words to Dad. There's two things that my dad always wanted. He always wanted to be a millionaire, and he wanted to make sure that my mom was always okay. So I was literally sitting by his side, and I remember the two promises I made him. It was like, hey, one, I promise to fulfill your dream of being a millionaire. And two, I promise that I will take care of Mom. You don't have to worry. Now, how I was going to do it, I had no idea. But that day, I just sat by his side and watched him fade. I saw him pass away right before my eyes, and I was by his side every single moment. And one thing that I remember before leaving that hospital room was my dad always had this, like, indent in his thumb, right? And I just remember just, like, touching it for the last time, realizing that this moment was never gonna happen again. I left that day, like, really confused about what I wanted to do. I know it's probably bad luck to Snapchat at a funeral, but it's so beautiful out today. Dad wouldn't want it any other way. And then the next day I found out I got fired. And it really sucked because I've always been like pretty straight edge for my whole life. Like I've always played by the rules. I never got detention. I was always like a good kid growing up. I was like, what the fuck is happening in my life, man? I just thought like everything, I'm just eating major shit in my life and I don't know what to do about it, right? Start applying to jobs again. I go interview after interview and it just doesn't feel right. I didn't want to go back to that career, you know? The truth was I was so unhappy with pharmacy and I just couldn't see myself going back. And for y'all that don't know, I was studying marketing for a few years at this point. Like I've taken Ramit's zero to launch course. I bought so many courses, dipped my toes into affiliate marketing. I did everything. Like I've done a lot of things, but man, like I never believed myself before. And I always told myself that I just didn't have enough time to do a launch. Damn. So I was like, if I'm going to do it in my life, now is the time to do it and take the leap of faith. So I go ahead and I start creating my course. I literally shot an investment course. It's actually all shot. I'm still editing it, but I created this course thinking about like, hey, maybe this is my ticket to freedom. But then all these thoughts came in. I was just like, man, so I make sales for like, sure, I can make a lot of money up front, but what happens the next month and the next month and the next month? Like, truthfully, I just didn't believe I could really make it as an entrepreneur. And I just kept on making excuses. That was really hard for me. I don't know. I kind of let fear get in the way and I stopped. And I remember going up to my friend, Matt. Some of you guys might know him as Engineer Truth. He was coming back from the Philippines, and you know that day I just decided to pick him up from the airport. He was telling me all the crazy stuff that was happening in his life. He got his partnership with Dan Lok, and I was like, Dan Lok, isn't that the guy who does like the Wing Chun videos and doesn't even wear that like stupid red suit or something like that? Like, why do you want to do business with him? And he was like, bro, just read FU Money. I read FU Money and it completely changed my life. You know, see, Dan, he comes from the same background as me. We're both Chinese. His father passed away and he made that same promise to take care of his mom. He was also really into copywriting, which I love copywriting. I'm a huge nerd for copywriting. We just related on so many levels, and knowing what happened to me at my other job, I realized like the whole point of FU Money is to live life on your own terms, on your own means. And I realized that was the one thing I was always searching for, right? I didn't want to have to worry about what I said to my audience, you know? Like, I didn't want to feel like I was censored. I wanted to give people the honest truth of what I have always thought rather than hold back. So after I read FU Money, I remember meeting Matt a few days later. We were at Line Hotel and I was just telling him, I love the concept of FU Money. I want to move forward with creating my course, but I was like, I don't know if I'm going to really make it sustainable. And I was like, man, like, dude, I love Dan Lok's book, but how do I get my FU Money? How do I do this? Right? Like, I just don't feel confident that in my skills. And then I remember him telling me that he was taking Dan Lok's high ticket closer course and he loved it. And in my head, I was like, you know what? I don't even know what high ticket closing is, but maybe if I can spend more time with people like Dan, maybe I can be super successful. So I was one of the few people that was like, I don't care. I don't know what a high ticket closer is. I'm gonna just do it. And I just went YOLO. And I'm so glad I did. I went through the program, loved every bit of it. If I were to describe a program for you, it's basically personal development through sales and closing. You learn so much about yourself, how to communicate with people. It's honestly one of the best skills that I've ever learned in my life. It's honestly better than my PharmD. And if I continue practicing pharmacy, I would be a completely better pharmacist because I can communicate and deal with people. Like most people who graduate the program, they're always looking for opportunities after. And so in the course, Dan actually has a section where he teaches you how to optimize your LinkedIn and all your social media so influencers actually come to you rather than the other way around. And so I start making these changes. And then it was so crazy. Business owners started coming to me. I was like, what the fuck? This is so crazy, right? I remember this one business owner, it was some SEO company. He came up to me and he was like, hey, let's book a call. Let's jump on a call together. And I need a high ticket closer. I was like, oh man, this is so awesome. Like I was getting really excited. Hey guys, this is Kevin. What's going on today? Really wanted to share something that's really important to me. So I just recently got off a phone with an influencer, right? And man, I felt like total shit after this call. Um, I kept on beating myself up, just thinking about how many what I could have done better and whatnot, and I need to do this. I need to control the call better. I need to do all this shit and not be so attached to the call, right? But man, I realized something today. It's that, this attitude of gratitude and all that sort of stuff, the thing that we do every single day. See, my problem was never being grateful for other people, right? Like, I'm very grateful for the people in my life. But the number one thing that I'm not grateful for is myself. And I've always been beating myself up over it. It's always been this theme, like, no matter what I do, no matter what success I get, and believe me, these last few weeks, ever since I took HTC, it's completely changed my life. I've done my first marketing funnel because of HTC. I've come out with my own clothing because of HTC. I've reached out to people I thought I would never get to meet through HTC and through the mindsets, right? But man, there's always these moments where you just fucking doubt yourself and fucking beat yourself up. And what I learned today was that I'm just not grateful for myself, and my own successes and all that bullshit. You know, I did a good job today not taking this influencer. Like, he was asking me to do it, but at the end of the day, one, I do not do fucking outbound calls. I don't want to do that. Second thing, his items weren't high ticket. I added up all his packages and shit, and it was like about $1,000. It's hard, man. It's hard, for me, because I'm such a people pleaser sometimes. And I'm starting to realize, in this business world, if I'm always going to people please and shit, it's not going to really take me anywhere. And it's actually holding me back a lot. It's preventing me from talking to bigger influencers. I just feel like there's so much on the fucking line, Yeah, man. So, I was feeling like this today, but I have to say, one thing that I did do right today was actually I reached out to the two people that were on Discord that I really trust, David and Chelly. I mean, they were on the calls and stuff. Felt so much better, and today I just feel so fucking grateful that I have people who actually look out for my well-being and really support me when I'm in such a low ass fucking state, when I just feel all the doubt in the world that I can't do something. And I'm so fucking grateful, dude. In the past, I always felt like that. How Dan always talks about that lone wolf? Dude, that's me, man. I always felt like I had to do everything by myself. And I think through HTC, that's the number one thing I've really learned is, things suck sometimes, but as long as you have a good environment, good people around you, that's all that really matters. So, I mean, this influencer, he really put me down. He really fucking said something deep and really brought out my own insecurities, and he's probably displacing a lot of his own insecurities on me too. But he's saying that stuff like, hey, why do you brand yourself as a high tick closer when you barely even have any experience? And until you're actually on a call by yourself and they say that shit to you, man, it's different. I was just like, well, why would you even contact me if you don't even have a high ticket offer? Jump on the phone with him, and I remember talking to him, and a lot of SEO companies, they have tons of offers, tons of offerings and stuff. But I was like, man, none of this is really high ticket. So I started asking him, what exactly is your offer? You offer at least 20 different services, but I don't see your offer. I remember at that point, the conversation like turned, and I wasn't asking to be a douche. I was just asking because I was really curious because the highest ticket offer I saw was like $500. And technically a high ticket item is about 3,000, right? And then he turns the tables on me and he asked me a question like, "So, Kevin, how long have you been doing sales for? Do you have experience?" And in my head, I knew the right thing to say. I should have said, "Hey, so are you looking for experience or are you looking for results?" But it came out like something like, I've been doing this for a few months, right?" And that insecure, like I just didn't feel very confident. And he knew it too. I remember this so clearly. I felt like shit. He started shitting on me. And I remember him saying, "And you call yourself a high ticket closer? Really?" At that moment, I remember I got off the phone. I started questioning whether I even want to do this. Like, yo, is high ticket closing really for me? Am I meant to do this? Like, should I just give up? Should I just go back to pharmacy? Felt so shitty. And you know what felt really shitty too? Whenever I went in the Facebook group, I would just see booms everywhere. And for y'all that don't know what a boom is, it basically means you closed a huge deal. So I see the people to the left and right of me just making all these big wins, you know? And here I was. I was like, dude, why isn't this happening to me? Why is there something wrong with me? So I started thinking, I was like, well, how do I build up my own confidence? What do I feel confident at closing for? Since I was Dan Lok's inner circle, he gave us an affiliate link. And that's when I was like, maybe I'll make money off this affiliate link and try to close for high ticket closer. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Kevin, you only close for the product you took. Doesn't that sound like an MLM? Doesn't that sound like a scam? And I get you. But here's the thing. This is how I initially built my confidence so I could go outside of Dan Lok's high ticket closer program. So I remember that day, I was like, okay, so I have Refugee Hustle, I have an email list, I have traffic, I have a YouTube channel. Why don't I do like a launch series? So literally, I remember flying my friend out, getting so excited. I flew my friend out from Vancouver to shoot all my stuff. The open rates on my emails were pretty good. My videos were doing really well. I was like, the money's right around the corner. And guess what? Flops. I make 0 sales. It's like, fucking shit, man. Dude, I can't do anything right. You know, like I couldn't keep my job. I couldn't even make a fucking single sale on this. I was like, well, maybe I'm just doing the wrong thing. How are other people making money? And I saw a few people, a few of my friends, they were doing HTC reviews. When I saw their reviews, I was just like, well, I can do my own review in a more real way with my own flavor, with my own personality, right? So I did it. Hey, HTC fam, it's been a long time since I've actually talked to you guys. For y'all that don't know, my name is Kevin Yee, and I'm a high ticket closer, especially after today. I did it. I made my first 1,000 as a high ticket closer today. I changed other people's lives. I'm finally getting closer to that promise I made to my dad right before he died. For y'all that don't know my story, I earlier in 2017, I lost my job because of social media, and I lost my dad. That was a really tough time, and on my dad's deathbed, I promised him 2 things. I promised him that I would take care of my mom and that I would be a millionaire to fulfill his dream that he always wanted. I was so damn lost at that time, you know, and I read this book, a little book called F You Money, which changed the course of my life forever. I joined HTC late. I was batch 3, but I was like almost 3 to 4 weeks into it. Thank you to my friend Matt Tran for really pushing me to go do it. For the longest time, man, I've always tried different things, and it's never worked. My inner sapphire is always like shiny object, shiny object, shiny object, affiliate marketing, email marketing, everything that you can imagine. I've been through many ups and downs, but through Dan's teaching, I've learned to kind of stabilize myself. Like one of the fellowships I applied to, I didn't get in, but I was more stable. I didn't go through these ups and downs. I just kept on doing the same things every single day, just pushing, believing. And even this morning, I was like, man, can I actually do this high ticket closing shit? Can I actually make it as an entrepreneur? And I'm not gonna lie, for a second, I actually thought I had to go back to pharmacy, you know, something I fucking hated, I didn't want to do. Something where I always felt judged that it just wasn't me. And so many fucking people doubted, hey, is it possible? Can you do it? I just made more money than I did in 1 hour than I would make in almost a week. I can truly call you Sifu now because you've changed my life. You know, all the stuff about easy money, like money, making money does not have to be so fucking hard. I actually fucking believe it for once, man. It's the best feeling ever. I can't tell you how long I've been waiting for this fucking moment. And it's finally come at my doorsteps, man. I can't even, you know, till I've been through so much. And finally, I can finally say that I'm a high ticket closer. And if any fucking influencer ever doubts my fucking closing ability, it's not a fake anymore. I've made money through this bullshit. Once you get your first sale, man, feels fucking good, man. So guys, if you guys are ever doubting yourself, just keep on going. Cause words cannot describe what the fuck I'm going through right now. High ticket closer, out. It was so crazy. I just threw a booking link. Like I would have people schedule appointments with me to see if it was the right fit for them. The opportunity just started coming like crazy. And I remember just getting so overwhelmed. I was like, holy shit, there's so many opportunities. I don't think I can take it all. I started looking for people who felt like me. They had the skill, but they just never had the opportunity to close. So I remember the first 2 people I put on my team, Jason and Tao, I was just like, man, I'm just getting so overwhelmed with all these opportunities. Can you guys help me out? And they're like, yeah, we're down to help you out. So that was the start of my team, and it was beautiful, and it just started growing from there. And it's so crazy. It's all started off with that affiliate link, and then my team started growing and growing and growing, and seeing them in person, man, that was one of the best feelings, man. Like having a group that truly believes in you and your leadership, knowing that you're looking out for them, man, there's no better feeling than that. But you know, like I said earlier, I wanted to just close for something bigger than high ticket closer, right? I mean, it's cool and all. I love supporting Dan, but you know, you kind of feel like, to me, I kind of feel like a scam artist if the only thing I can close is for Dan Lok's program, right? I took those results and actually used it to close bigger and bigger deals. And that really gave me the confidence, like the results gave me the confidence to talk to business owners, to ask the right questions, to expand my team. And currently, right now, I have a team of 10 with applications always coming to see with my team. And I just simply don't have all the opportunities available at this moment. And right now, I'm actually closing for different business owners, helping really innovative products grow and scale up. So at this point, you're probably wondering, like, Kevin, so are you saying that I need to create an affiliate link after Dan Lok's program? And my answer to that is no. My current plan right now is to get bigger and bigger opportunities for my team and develop them as leaders so that they can manage their own teams. Here's the thing. Where do you think I'm going to get my team members? Do you think I'm going to get it from people that use my affiliate link or don't use it from my affiliate link? Now, I'm not promising you that you'll exactly be on my team. All I'm saying is that, hey, one day you might have the opportunity to close for my opportunities. You know, it's funny. I look at my whole journey so far. You know, for so long, I was just focused on myself, but here I was like helping other businesses, helping people in my community, providing bigger and bigger opportunities. And I realized, man, one of the biggest things that was stopping me from being successful was because I was always thinking about myself. And when I switched conversation of like, hey, how can I help you? Can I help you? And if I can't help you, who can help you? People would always say thank you on all my closing calls, whether they bought or not.
Before I get off this call, let me ask you, I mean, what was the most helpful thing off this call?
I guess self-realization that you kind of brought into it. Like you kind of helped me open up and like realize things about myself that I didn't kind of realize before. Or maybe I did, but was kind of blocking them out. And like you really like helped me open up about those things.
You said you had a realization. What was that one realization that you had?
For me, like just being more self-confident in myself, and like at the end saying that you have like just committing and like believing in yourself that like it's gonna happen.
You know what the beautiful thing is?
What's that?
I'm able to do it because of closing.
Bigger and bigger opportunities just seem to come to me. It was such an amazing feeling. People suddenly want to partner up with me. I actually partner with a marketer right now. So crazy to see all the opportunities and see my life change like in a completely different direction. Like I can confidently say that, you know, I probably will not go back to pharmacy. Sometimes we just need a little help to build that confidence. And that's what I want to offer you today. You know, if this story resonated with you, if you want to see what you're truly capable of, use my affiliate link and hell, maybe one day you can join my team. I'm not promising anything, but at least you have that opportunity, right? And I will do my best to help you every step of the way. If you want to see if it's the right fit for you, book a call with someone from my own team. They're just like me and they're not going to hard sell you. They just really want to know how this fits in your life. I'm telling you right now, take the time to make sure that this program is for you. Let's say if this video doesn't resonate with you, feel free to use some of the other affiliate links for a review that you do resonate with. You don't have to go through me. Anyways, guys, I think about everything that happened with my dad. And I think about like me getting fired from pharmacy, and I just think about like my FU money. And never in my life have I felt more confident about fulfilling that promise to my dad and living life on my own terms so I can give so much more to the world. And if you know anyone else that is considering high ticket closer program, feel free to show them this video. I just want to document my journey and just show you guys like what's really possible out there. Anyways, if you're still trying to see if high ticket closer is for you too, I also have whole playlists for you to make sure that it's the right decision for you. Anyways, guys, I will see you guys later. Peace.
If you ever have a chance to work with this gentleman, his name is Kevin. He's definitely someone who achieved results. You can listen to him. I'm not just making this like testimonial here, okay? I wouldn't put my name behind him if I did not think that he could produce results for you in your business. And if he can't do that, he'll let you know, and he'll probably even offer you another option. But if you're looking for someone to close for your business, you need someone you can trust to get results, Kevin is your man. Otherwise, I would not be Dan Lok's Executive Director. Thank you, man.